So Abraham's this guy, and he's wandering around in the desert, and God speaks to him, and God's a personal God. It says that those who know him, they're described as walking with him, and Abraham was somebody who walked with God, and as he was walking with God, what God said, he says, look at the sands on the seashore. That's how numerous your descendants are going to be. And he said, through you, all nations on the earth are going to be blessed. And it says that if we follow in the footsteps of the faith of our forefather Abraham, then we are his descendants, we're his children. And so when you look at things like the sand on the sea, it's meant to remind you that God is a God of abundance. He does immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine. So yes, we must be praying for our friends, for our family, for our colleagues, but let's be praying for the nations. That God says, ask of me, and I will give you the nations for your inheritance. Let's pray big prayers. Let's pray prayers filled with faith. And as you do that, God will start to put strategies, to start to put dreams within your heart. He may even tell you to go or show you where to go. He often uses us as the answers to our own prayers. That all we need to do is see the need and have the startings of some faith to believe that God can do it, that God cares. To Abraham, it was hopeless. One of my favourite verses in the Bible is, against all hope, Abraham in hope believed. It says that his body was as good as dead because he was 100 years old, and that his wife's womb was also dead and barren. And so there was really no hope of God doing it. And as we look at our nation is barren, spiritually dead. What good thing can come out of here? Everything's moving backwards. But God is looking for people who will take time with him, who will pray, and who will believe that out of this dust, that God can raise up people that will follow him and that will do his will. Jesus said about the stones, he says, like, if these Pharisees and people don't praise me, then the stones are going to cry out, and they're going to bring worship. And you have Ezekiel, who saw the valley of dry bones, that all that was there was deadness, and God said, prophesy to these bones and let there be life in this army. And so God can bring life where there's nothing, and he can turn a walk in the desert or a walk on the beach into a multitude of people that come to know him. And so be crying out to God and see those pictures as well that God is using to encourage us in our faith. Like, Abraham's mind must have boggled when he contemplated the number of grains of sand that's on the seashore, and to think of what God is going to do even in the countless ages of eternity to bring that promise to fulfillment. Let's be like Abraham. Let's trust that God is able to do what he's promised.